What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Let me play one of these. Damn it. I've lost my sound effects already. How do I, what if I double click this? Can I play? Oh my God. How's everybody doing? Come inside, come inside, come inside, come inside. Come inside, come inside, come inside, come inside. 2 drips 1 day. Why? Because tomorrow I gotta go. And I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go, and that's fine. Doesn't mean I don't love you. Doesn't mean BabaJi doesn't love you. But no, today at 4 o'clock I'm gonna go. So I want to get it. I want to get tomorrow's live stream in today. It's like, you know what? We can't leave. We don't want to leave a live stream hanging like that. Can y'all hear the music? Where is the music? Hello. Hello. Oh, it didn't play. Uh-oh. Can y'all hear me even? What is going on? Hold on. Live streaming. Hello. You are here. You are here. You are here. Okay, it's live streaming. God is great. Step 1, God is great. What? What? Where am I? It didn't change the... I got to change the thumbnail on this. Listen, I'll have to change it after. I made a thumbnail for it. Oh my God. Now you do this? Whole community talking. Hello, whole community talking. Whole community here. And my buddy's going to come too. My buddy, Vandad Kardar. There it is. Here we go. And I'm going to let him in. This is my buddy, Vandad Kardar. We do comedy together in Toronto. He's a great guy. We had a podcast called White Man's Burden. It was basically a political podcast, but he's a white man's burden kind of guy. Oh, and I remember when he came on before, him and Steven almost got into a beef. It was like weird. It was like they almost got into like a political beef, but that did happen. Even with Morgan, my other friend Morgan, who was a comic, Morgan O'Shea, great guy. I remember he came on too, and him and Steven got straight up into a fight. Like they were mad. By the way, your voice is good. No music. We can hear you, but we need some Eric. What's up, baby? Step 3, profit. Into the grind set. Yo, Amish done fell into the grind set. I love it. He says, Amish done fell into the grind set. I love it. Yes, you should love it. And I'm going to show your things in a second. Your chats, your chit chats. Chitty chatty. Vandad Kardar is in the stream with me. Camera's not on. Vandad, can you hear me? What's up, baby? How you doing?
Yeah, what's up, buddy? Can you hear me?
Your volume's very low.
Okay, yeah, let me fix that and let me get my camera on.
Yes, baby, come inside. All right, let's look at these comments though. There's so many people already. This is the thumbnail, by the way.
Is my volume better?
No, it's still low. For me though. Let me people tell me what y'all think.
Hello?
Maybe it's just my computer's doing this weird thing. Hold up.
It's still low?
Yeah, it's still a little low. His volume isn't low to us. What's the deal? Oh my God, why is my computer doing this to me? Hold on, just give me 1 second. I think I set some weird setting inside of Zoom. Bear with us, y'all. I'm in the grind set.
Better? Is it better?
Yeah, that's better, dude. That's better. You know what? It wasn't you. It was me. I couldn't hear you. And before, like on the last stream, it sounded like that on the whole stream. I couldn't hear much, but it's okay because the audience, listen, the audience is here and they will tell us. They will tell us when things sound right and wrong. And
they will tell you.
And they'll also say you're not being righteous, even. They're like that. But, you know, that's fine. You can rip them. Don't worry about them. You can rip them. Yeah, I was just saying, I remember last time you came on, though. You've been on the show before. And Steven, yeah, it's weird. He would get into that with people. Steven would get like almost offended sometimes. Like I remember Morgan was on and Morgan was telling me about how Morgan O'Shea, our boy, and Morgan was telling us about how when he was 16, he worked at a call center, like a scam call center. So he would go to these guys and the scam was so sad, actually. It was like he would call these grandmas. They had like a list of grandma scam. So they have a list of grandmas and they go, emergency, calling from correctional facility. After the beep, say the name of your grandson. And then this grandma would be like, Timothy McDonald, please hold. And then Morgan would go on the phone basically. And he'd be like, Grandma, I got into a little trouble. I need money. Like, and they would get money, dude. He
It
said
was
it
a
was good
scam.
money.
It would scam him.
He would scam the grandma, and he was saying that he worked at this telemarketing thing.
Oh
for
my
like
God,
years.
he would do that.
Dude, he had to quit because he was like, it was hurting my feelings. It was unethical. Actually, he
Holy
said he
shit.
couldn't. He had a hard time with the grandmas. And that's when he quit. But he was like 16 when he got into it. Like he's had a rough.
Holy shit.
He's had a rough life, right? So I
Yeah.
get from what he's told me, like not to judge or anything, but like he's, it's like, dude, the fact that he's 16 and even working there, but he was saying that he took home like $4,000. Like sometimes he would have like $2,000, $4,000 days. And sometimes, but he always had rippers, dude. He would just go in and it would just be like grabbing cash. And they paid him. And it
Wow.
was all these in Montreal, where dude, Montreal, they had these like little warehouses, they'd set them up. Now they go to India for it. But he was saying he did that. Anyway, he was on the show. He was on the Drip like last year or something. He's telling Steven, and I guess he wasn't saying it with enough remorse. So then Steven's like, oh, and you think that's funny that you stole money from a grandmother? Like he was so mad. And it was like such an awkward. Yeah, I know. I think Morgan's mad still. So I got to bring him back. But
That's
yeah.
so funny. I miss Morgan.
I know, right? Dude, he's killing it.
I'll be
So-
right back. 2 seconds.
Yeah,
Sorry.
go for it.
Sorry,
So,
it's live. It's live.
We are live, baby. We're live. We have so many people here, actually. Lucid, Eric, Kendon Reed, Verbal Spaghetti Gaming, 4 Hour Life, Dylan K. Handley, Eric. Listen, we are building, Eric, LOL, what is that flask? Also, his audio sounds fine on our end. You're right. I screwed up the audio. Thank you so much. Y'all are love. Yeah, I know this flask. Look at this flask. I got this from the dollar store for $4. It was at the Dollarama for $4. But what a perfect prop. Like as a comedian, I was like, I don't know when I'll need it. But at some point, I'm going to do some kind of a drunk sketch and then just be like, so even as I was watching these Russian commanders, and that's going to be our first topic, actually, these Russian commanders, we're going to talk about this Ukraine, the bungle of the invasion from Russia. And we're going to talk about, after that, the Batman movie review. Vandad and I both saw it. And we have some great stuff to say about that. But
I
first,
love it. Yeah, I saw it last night. I saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And my
actually, the
background
night
is that,
before.
by the way. My
I saw the
background.
10:30 show till 1 o'clock. It's 3 hours. This movie.
3 hours, dude. It keeps giving you more. You know what? Let's do Batman first. You want to do
Okay.
Batman first?
First, did you like it?
Dude, I loved it. And also, I did
Really?
it in, I saw it in this D box. Have you ever done D box?
No. What's that?
So it's a Canadian, I guess it's Cineplex Odeon. They have D box now. Dude, the seat. Like, have you ever been to Universal Studios in Florida?
I have. Well, no. I went to. They have an LA one, don't they? I went
Okay,
to
so
that.
you went to LA or whatever. So,
Yeah.
have you been in the ride where you sit in a car or like, you ever do that ride?
The DeLorean. The back.
Yeah,
to
the
the Future?
DeLorean. That was amazing,
Yeah.
right? Did you
Yeah,
like it?
yeah. It was great.
It was sick. Okay, so take 30% of that effect. I don't know why my camera's frozen, but let's just restart that. Yeah, take 30% of that effect. And in Cineplex Odeon cinemas, I hate to advertise these guys. They're basically a monopoly on cinemas in Canada. But they have these new box seats. You say it's called D box. It's like $5 more. I'm sitting in it. And then the girl beside me reclined. I'm like, holy shit, it reclines, dude. I'm laying back like this. And the whole movie, it's like 30% of that DeLorean effect. Because you know, when you're in
Wow.
that, like it matches the movements of the movie. So the thing is like every gunshot, the seat's just like, dun, dun, dun. Dude.
Oh my
the
God.
bass, like
You can feel
the-
it. It like
Dude.
bounces and shit.
It bounces, and it's like it's not even so much the shake and the bounce. It's this
Right.
light movement, and like if you're deep in the movie, just like the DeLorean, you feel like you're moving, like you're like
Wow.
floating in it. You're just like like even when they're doing the chase scene, like sometimes the car drifts or whatever, or like sometimes the car like hits a ramp and it's flying through the air, and when it does that, the thing's like ding,
That's
and it's like
sick.
like a light hum, and you're just like, I'm flying. It's so tight, dude. I loved it.
Oh my God, I love that.
But the storytelling was tight too. You know what I mean? Only because the story
Was it though?
You didn't like it, eh?
I thought it was okay. I thought
Interesting.
so I was telling you this a little on the thing. Like, do you remember the first one? No, not the first one. The one like 10 years ago, the one with Bane.
Bane, yeah.
That one was like, it was like the culture at the time was like very like the protesters in the real world were leftist, right?
I love
So
this
it was like
analysis, dude.
it was
Yeah.
the Occupy Wall Street movement was happening when that was
Right.
happening. And then this Bane group was like a militant sort of violent version of Occupy.
Yeah.
Like they were talking wealth disparity. They were talking, you know, like I think they said the 99% versus 1% kind of thing at once. So they basically took an occupation of that town.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh yeah, there's like a bomb and one of us might blow up. But the basic premise was like, it's like all of us versus all of you, you know?
Yeah.
And so they basically like did a hit. The first one was basically a hit piece on the Occupy movement. Now I think it's interesting 10 years later that this one sort of did a hit piece. Like his followers, the guy who was the Riddler's followers were basically QAnon.
Yeah.
He was QAnon. He was like, and he has the followers on Insta, and they're gonna go out and do like little lone wolf sleeper cell attacks.
Yeah, dude. They
You
were
know,
like
they're gonna
violent in that.
occupy. It was basically like almost like a free. It was like a with the January 6th insurrection / QAnon.
They made them very incel-y. Like they made them very like
incel-y people. They're all like
gross and-
nerds
yeah.
hiding behind computers but then they go stock up on guns. They do a little Columbine-y kind of thing.
Yeah. So Columbine-y and
It's like
so
a Columbine QAnon fucking rebel rebellion, incel rebellion kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know, this guy looks like a school shooter.
He's such a school shooter, dude.
It's like a school shooter. Like it's like someone needs to do a redub where you zoom in on this and it's just Q instead of a question mark. It's a Q.
Dude, I bet the QAnons are going nuts on this right now. They're like, the movie was made for us. They're like, did you see Batman? It just reawakened all of QAnon.
Someone takes it like Catcher in the Rye, and they just go try to shoot like the president. They're like, I saw the message in the movie.
No, I don't think they're gonna do that. But that would be so sad if they did. That would be so fucked up.
Sad. It is interesting.
But I was thinking that they're gonna look at this as like, because you know what they do in QAnon is they have all these drops and they just take whatever's happening in society and they make it into like, okay, so Trump's trying to like if there's a bombing somewhere in Syria, they're like 9 bombs were dropped in Syria. Okay, Trump is trying to tell QAnon that on the 9th day of September, 9 sufferings. That's what QAnon, dude. That's what it's like. It's like spiritual like that. So they would almost see this and just dissect. It's like the whole movie was made for us. I mean, they clearly they know what we are going through. Honestly, I found it kind of sad that Batman could have just told him that, like, hey man, my dad wasn't doing that though. Like, why didn't he just tell the guy? And I hate to be a spoiler alert, but like. Anyway, that doesn't spoil anything.
Doing what? What was he saying his dad was doing?
Like
he was like corrupt or something, right?
Yeah, this guy was accusing Bruce Wayne of being corrupt. Why didn't what's his name just go back and be like, nope, he wasn't, man. My dad's a legit guy. What the hell is your problem?
But I think he believed it. I think he was, right?
He did believe it for a second, and then after I think it's
probably true. I don't think they're lying.
I think they in the end made it like, no, Daddy was a good guy. They made it look like Daddy was a bad guy.
When do you remember? I don't remember that. I thought it was like the guy was like, yeah, your dad had me murder someone. The mafia guy.
No, that's bullshit though. That guy was bullshitting. That mafia guy was saying that. Yeah, because if you look at when Alfred was in bed, Alfred was like, and look, maybe you think I'm being naive and I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt. But basically, Alfred in his deathbed, or even when he's in the hospital after beat him up, Alfred is like, no, your dad was cool, man. Your dad was in a tough situation where he had to go to this mob guy. The mob guy then turned that into a blackmail. Like he was in a spot where like the dad was an honest politician. And then something basically happened where all this shit was going to come out about his wife and his kids. And he didn't want his wife and kids to go through that. So he goes to the mob guy and he's like, hey man, you know, like we're normally enemies.
It's like, can you talk to the guy nicely and have him take down this thing? And they're like, we'll kill him.
Well, that's what the guy basically goes and kills him and says, yeah, Bruce Wayne, you know what I mean? Like, and then he said, I have the proof that you came to me to do it. So I have that proof. And then he blackmailed him with that. And I think the guy was like not willing to pay. So they killed him. So that's how they killed the mom and dad, which is, I think, tight. I just feel bad. You know, it just makes me sad that like, why didn't he stop to talk to him? But I guess he just got angry. You know, he gets upset. You realize daddy's not the right, you know what I mean? And you're just like, you're mad in that moment.
I've always had a problem with Batman as a character in general, because it is like this billionaire.
I know you hate him, you lefty. You're so lefty.
It's not that I hate him. It's like, what is this world of Gotham? Whereas essentially it's just like all higher power is corrupt. Everyone is like inept and can't do anything. People are getting like mugged and raped on the street and fucking, I don't know, Asians are getting hate crimed or whatever. Like that Asian guy was about to get lynched.
Yep.
And like, basically there is no authority. There is no like law and order. And it all depends on just this one billionaire guy going around and like fixing everything it's kind of how today we're like, what do we do about the economy and the environment? Like maybe Elon and Bezos will save us.
Yeah. Or World Economic Forum, I feel like is trying to be that. Like we're a bunch of billionaires, but we care about you, so we're gonna get together and do the right thing for you. Like I do think that they're selling themselves like that.
It's very like feudalistic, like neo-feudalism. It's like basically
Wow.
he's like the rich baron of this town, and it's his actual responsibility to like keep it in order. But in the end of the day, like he doesn't really no Batman has ever made Gotham a nice place. They always just go at the street level. They beat up some muggers. Maybe one guy's trying to blow up a hospital. They stop him. But as soon as that's done, they go back to the black tie, fancy reception, and the streets of Gotham are just still as slimy.
Yeah.
The mob still has a hold. So it's like it's very like Band-Aid solution. Like every once in a while, I'm gonna jump out of the sky, I'm gonna save the day. And then I just go back to my fucking billionaire mansion. While it's like the people, like what gets better? Like, who are these kids growing up in Gotham? You know what I mean? Going to Gotham school, and it's like,
Yeah.
it is very neo. It's like you're just like some local English lord of some like bumfuck town. There's raiders, there's murders, there's mercenaries.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you come out with your armor and you're like, you flex a little, you stop a few guys, and then you just go back to your feast. You know?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they do show him suffering for it a lot. Like they do show him, and I feel like that's what got the Riddler in his head, because the Riddler told him in the movie that then next we'll get Bruce Wayne, that filthy rich kid. Him and his daddy own the town. We'll kill them. They're garbage. And like I think that's what pissed him off. That's what just took him over the edge. Where he's like, "Oh, my daddy," you know what I mean? And he's like, he just got so mad, and he's like, "I gotta kill you," whatever it is. But
also, I don't know the incarnation of this Batman. Like if it's like a reboot, if it's a direct continuation. Like I don't know. They kind of just restart the storyline all the time. So I don't know exactly.
They just do it all the time. Yeah, this is a restart. This is a
like I don't know
restart.
if this guy's story and what the Wayne company does in this one, but in all the other ones, the Wayne Corp is like tied into the military industrial complex. It's true. That's why he always
of
has
course
like,
they
the
are
fucking billionaire weapon. He has the weaponry, he has the advanced weapons, the advanced suits, the Batmobile. It's all tactical to practical. Like it's all like military gear. It's high end fucking Lockheed Martin, fucking Raytheon Corp, Wayne Corp. You know what I mean?
Dude. You know, this is why I love you, dude. You have this hard left. I didn't even think
I'm not
of
even
this.
trying to go hard left. It's just
I know it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's the weapons industry. It's not like Wayne Corp got its money selling rice. They're not fucking Habitat for Humanity. Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of ways. You could be a nonprofit and still make billions of dollars because they make money. You know what I mean?
Dude, they're the most evil always. Like they're always the most like ridiculous.
Most evil. But like in the Wayne situation, again, I don't know this plot line of this. Like I saw the movie, but I don't know like where the family money comes from in this version of it. But in all the other versions of it, and that's how he gets like the Batcave and all the weaponry, he's the military industrial complex. So you got to think too, he's a billionaire. His family's worth billions. That money came from fucking blood, like it's blood money. Wow. Like that money came from the same suit that he wears, the same
this might be the most offensive
opinion
on this podcast ever. Like this is so offensive to people. I love it though. No, I love that.
I'm just saying, if you see him in a tank, in a Batmobile, in a suit, that means there's at least some variant of that in Iraq.
No,
you're fucking whatever.
This is so
whatever the DC universe wars are, and they're fighting somewhere, dropping bombs on all these people. And then meanwhile, the money's flowing back into Wayne Enterprises. Okay.
This is so funny, dude. And you know what's so crazy about this? Even in real life, if you think about what these franchises have become, a lot of people are saying that they are heavy military propaganda as movies themselves. So yeah, I guess that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, with Batman, but if you look at the whole Avengers side, which is I guess Marvel or whatever, they get tons of money from the military. Like they get tons of like, hey, like there's apparently a department in Hollywood where they go, you need a tank, you need a helicopter. What do you need, son? And then
we'll just go over your script. We'll just take out a few lines here and there, and then you can have all these tanks.
And then you can have all these tanks. And hey, man, if you add a line, listen, we'll throw in a tank. It's imagine they go. If you could just say, thank God for America. We thought it would be a good spot to say. If you just say that with the flag, no, it's got to be not thank God for America. It's got to be like, thank you, Mr. Military Man. One day I'll be in the military. Like you add it, like they're trying to add in the propaganda maybe slowly. But apparently
the Marvel movies are heavy like that. The Marvel movies are always like USA, USA. Like we're the US military. Like they kind of fail. So then the superheroes got to pick up the slack and like really save the day. But then when the superheroes are done, like the army rolls in, we'll take it from here, sir. You got like a soldier like saluting Thor or some shit. And they're like, I mean, Captain America is a soldier.
100% soldier. That's the thing. Captain America is straight up military propaganda. And dude, if you watch I don't know if you saw the Wonder Woman movie.
Captain America.
Captain America. Oh, so America is number one.
Don't be careless. Captain America coming for you.
Yes, oh, they love Mr. Colonial coming back. Oh, you are
Captain
number one.
America bomb your whole village. Indiscriminate. Collateral damage.
So powerful. Oh my God. Everyone. All the woman is wet and shaking when he drop his bomb. Yeah, that's basically Captain America is military propaganda. What was I going to show you? Oh, I was going to tell you actually. If you watch so it goes even beyond just basic like don't you love the military. So if you watch Wonder Woman, it's again great movie, beautiful actors, incredible set design, the best filmmaking. Like
Israeli propaganda.
Israeli propaganda. Well, they basically do you could say a rewriting of history where they go back and they go back in time and they go back to some battle in World War I. And look, it's not cool to criticize World War II and World War I. I get it. But there is real criticism of these old wars. And we've talked about this on White Man's Burden.
All wars are stupid. What do you mean? Criticize away. Fuck them.
Well, I mean, I think Hitler was the last one where people could give a legitimate argument. But what these guys did is they went back to World War I. Sure,
but hold on. Sorry.
But for World War I, they kind of did the story in a way that they were basically like, okay, so World War II is to stop Hitler. They basically, if you watch the movie, like what's happening behind the scenes in the story, they rewrote history, you could say, so that World War I was also to stop Hitler. Because the guy who made Hitler was some character that came in and they were like, we have to stop him here or he'll become the guy who does World War II. So it basically turns all of America, all of Europe into like, we are with God actually. Because like these guys are flying in. It is like Hinduism, I guess. They're Hinduism. Because the good guys are all rich kids. In Hinduism too. The good guys, all rich kids.
Siddhartha, right? Buddha?
Siddhartha was a rich kid, dude.
He's a prince.
Even Hare Krishna was a warmongering, like rich kid, dude. He was warmongering, meaning like, the honor of war and the beauty of war, and you have to fight. Like that's his big
warrior monk kind of thing.
Yeah, he's not even a monk. He was a reincarnation of God. But like that's one of the Indian characters. He's almost basically like Tyrion or like I guess like Captain America over here, but doing it for Hindu politics and for Hindu like you have to fight back and we have to fight in this war and all this stuff. But that's very interesting that you brought up that perspective, dude.
Well, it's like, I mean, like World War II was to stop Hitler, like the war on terror was to stop Muslim radical Islam. Like would
you put it on the same level as that? Like because the war on terror seemed like nonsense. That seems like so manufactured.
I mean, in the sense that we created ISIS so we could go fight them. We propped up Saddam for decades so we could go fight him. In the same way, Hitler and Mussolini were propped up by the West until they made a few extra moves. Like the way Hitler got to power was on the anti-Russian, anti-communist ticket. Same with Mussolini. Mussolini during World War I had a series of anti-communist newspapers, and he was directly funded by MI6. This isn't some conspiracy theory shit.
This is why we need Vandad.
You can see this right on BBC. The documents are there. It shows how much he used to get paid. It's the equivalent of like 50,000 a week of our money in World War I.
Yeah. I've heard about this.
They were all the anti-Russian, anti-communist. We prop them up, and then when it's convenient for us, we go in and we actually take them out. So it's like, World War II, it's like justified because Hitler needed to be stopped. But who put him in power? Who, like the Canadian Prime Minister went during the Olympics, shook his hand. He said, this man is a patriot and loves his people. He had written Mein Kampf. It was all out there. We just don't actually care. We like it when bad people get kind of in power in a certain way, so that when we need to, we can be like, let's betray them. Let's go in, knock them out. We're the heroes. Bing, bang, boom. The only part of that I disagree with you on is that you're saying that their intention is bad from the beginning. And I agree, some people's intentions are bad from the beginning. But I do think some people, honestly, like some military generals, because they're born at when they're training, when they're 20 or whatever,
they're taught in the military, most militaries teach this too, that you have to engage the enemy. You have to look out and see like who's on the board. Because once you're secure, you're looking for enemies. And by looking for them, you almost project animosity onto them. So I do think that's the only difference between me and you is like, and listen, some people, like 10% of them are probably just like, let's go kill people. Like Patton was a psycho for sure. Like a lot of generals are. But then I do think most of them are just like, what do we do next, sir? I don't know. They moved in 5 feet, so we got to do something. So now we got to do, you know what I mean? Like they're almost like taught to think like that. But yeah, no, it's true though. They do. I didn't know it about Hitler as much, but I know that everyone else, they kind of propped them up.
Hitler basically said, look, if I don't stand against, like, no one's going to stand against Russia other than me. And these communists are going to take over everything. So we were like, oh my God, Herr Hitler. Wow. Like they liked him. The West liked him. They liked him until he crossed over too much. He took too much of other shit. They're like, okay, we gotta stop this guy or whatever. You know what I mean? But like until then,
he
when it was
war on them, like he marched into France, and everyone's like, okay, this is. Or
if he just fought the Russians, we'd be giving him weapons. And by the way, this isn't me liking Hitler or like I think that's disgusting. I'm just laying out the facts as I see it. I don't really buy into the moral aspect because it's like that's all in hindsight. Like America joined the war at the very last minute. They joined it like the last year or two. You know what I mean? Like Nazis were cooking, like rounding up their Jews for like fucking 10 years, 7 years or something. Like no one gave a fuck. You know what I mean? In hindsight, we're like, it was the war. Remember me and you went to the Molotov-Ribbentrop conference, and the Latvian, Polish, Lithuanian, and Ukrainian embassies were all sponsoring this event at Isabel Bader Theater, and they were making it like, oh, World War II was the war to fight the Nazis and the Soviets. And you're like, wait a minute. No, it wasn't. Like they were our allies. They're like rewriting history.
Yeah,
like,
the Soviets were our allies.
Yeah, they were our allies, but now these people are rewriting it like, yes, World War II, the very important war to stop Nazism and communism.
Yeah, I remember that. What? Yeah,
that wasn't it at all.
No, just to be clear, like when I was there, okay, yeah, I know what you mean now, because it was basically like you want to hear someone say World War II, the war to stop Nazis, and then this was the first place that we went to that was like World War II, the war to stop Nazis and communists, equal. They're just throwing it in there like these are our enemies, but they had a case.
We saw that in PragerU too. PragerU did that too. Yes, World War II, the war to stop communism and the Nazis. Like they like lowered it.
No.
They're like World War II, the war to stop the commies and the Nazis. It's like Jordan Peterson when he's like, what you were telling me, it's like someone's like, hey, he'll be like, oh, if women wear lipstick, it'll be cultural Marxism, and then, oh my God, the Marxists, and then someone goes, hey, what about the Third Reich? You know, like Nazis. They're like, he's like, oh, they were bad too, oh, but the communists were so. It's just like it's not equal at all. It's either they put them equal, like Nazis and Soviets equal, or they'll even be like Soviets, Nazis. Oh, the Nazis are bad. Like they just downplay it so hardcore. It's because
it's so funny.
Yo, that was such a telling event.
That's because so true. With Peterson, he does that. He totally does that.
Bob Ray, who was the former Liberal Party, he spoke at that and he gave his support. He's like, I'm with, and this is before.
Wasn't Chrystia Freeland there too?
Yeah, Chrystia Freeland, Deputy Prime Minister. She was there. She was spouting her grandfather's. Her grandfather was a Nazi collaborator in Ukraine. Her grandfather helped the fucking Nazis.
Oh my God, we got to pull this up now. Chrystia Freeland. Oh my God, we got to pull this up.
Her grandfather was a collaborator.
No,
here she is speaking to the Polish and Ukrainian, all these embassies, being like, we're going to stand with you against the Russians. Remember, she even said, I bet there's some Russian secret agents in here. And then she like kind of looked at us. She like looked at us. She like looking at us all of a sudden. It's like the two brown people at this event, the two non-Eastern Europeans at this event, looks at us like we're.
I guess it wasn't that many people there.
There was a full theater. No, but
there was a full theater. Yeah, but you think she got us that quick, eh? She was like full theater, but she goes those two. Like there's just
those two. Get them. But like Bob Ray came and spoke and said like is that you or me?
That's me. Sorry, I'm just trying to like refresh this page.
Like Bob Ray came and spoke and said like, we're with you, da 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 da. And then, dude, a week after that, it was announced that Bob Ray is the new Canadian representative at the UN.
Oh wow! So that's
Hadn't
the
even
thing.
been announced yet. He came to these people, these fucking former Eastern Bloc pro-Nazi like fucking people, and said, fucked. I have your, I'm supporting you just as a former politician. I'm supporting you. And then the next day he's representing Canada at the UN. Dude, that was so coordinated, dude.
Listen, Ottawa Citizen, they're getting Lotterio money, and then boom, right there, Defense Watch. What an interesting. They have like a Defense Watch, like I guess someone's on the beat. Chrystia Freeland's granddad was indeed a Nazi collaborator. So much for Russian disinformation.
Yeah,
interesting.
How they're like, that's Nazi, that's Russian disinfo. No, it's not.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure she's. Well, this is all I get to read. Okay, wait, no, we have it.
Like, I'm not saying Putin's right that all of Ukraine is Nazis. There's no justifying the war, but it's like when they're looking at their worldview, they're seeing Freeland and all these people too. They're like, yeah, okay, so what's this Nazi collaborator's granddaughter got to say?
No, but you can't blame her for her grandfather being.
I know you can't, but then like when they're pushing the same anti-Russian rhetoric, because okay. I know you want to get into the Russia thing too. I don't know if we're done with that.
Yeah. Let's just move on to the Russia thing. This is great.
Obviously, the invasion is bad. Like, I didn't even think it would happen. That's brutal. There's no justifying that. I wouldn't try in a million years. But it's like, it was like very predictable because you can see in the WikiLeaks. Do you have that WikiLeaks thing to show the people on screen?
I have this. You know what I have?
There's a WikiLeaks thing that just shows a plain day from like 10 years ago, like US diplomats talking about it, and they're like, if we keep pushing and we go to Ukraine and we keep circling Russia, they're gonna feel threatened and they're gonna need to do something about it. 10 years ago. 10 years ago, and it happened exactly like that. So I'm not
play this guy John Mearsheimer. I actually played this guy John Mearsheimer, and he has a talk on YouTube called "Why Ukraine is the West's Fault." And it was a full 6 years ago that he's like, NATO needs to stop like going over there. So you're saying that Chrystia Freeland is like part of some kind of like, almost like, I guess there's some people inside that we don't know who they are. Almost like the general, I was saying this last week, like it's almost like the generals who started World War I. They almost just like look at the treaties and they're like, okay, I found a loophole. We can just, if they attack here, then we can just start attacking and we don't have to get the government. We don't have to do anything. NATO is doing these moves, and I guess there's people on the inside just pushing the law a bit. They have like a political agenda, and they're like, go ask them again, or go, like they're putting up public messages saying, we are so happy to see that Georgia has aspirations. It's so insulting. We are so happy for Georgia's aspirations to join NATO. And then Russia bombs them. Nothing. Not one soldier to help them.
They're like the Kurds. It's like the Kurds. We're with the Kurds. Oh, Kurdish independence. We love you. And then it's like, oh, okay, bye. Get slaughtered. Who cares? Turkey's coming in.
Yeah.
Turkey is NATO too.
Turkey is in NATO? No, it is NATO. Oh, it's in NATO. They got it.
Yeah, Turkey's in NATO too.
But they couldn't do EU. They're too brown for EU.
Yeah. No, they tried. They tried like maybe 10, 12 years ago. They came close. They should be part of Europe.
They're like, we're not doing Arabs until 2050. It's we're not doing Muslims until 2050. Is that
Turkey's changing the official way the name is spelt to more represent themselves. So it's like Turkey. It's like TUR.
If they call themselves Constantinople, they'd be in. They would have been.
I think
in
it's
10 years
TURKYE or EY. Yeah. Turkey, but with the umlaut thing. Like
well, kind of like Kiev and Kyiv, they just switched it.
Yeah, they're tired of this like Turkey. It's Turkey.
Yeah, Turkey also means chicken too, right? So that's like something that's kind of insulting. Honestly, if they want to go to the EU though, they should call it like Constantinople. Constantinople, because I think that's what it originally was. In the Crusades, they lost it and it became Turkey. I think that's the history of it.
It was, yeah. So the Byzantines called it Constantinople. They ruled it for like 300-400 years, maybe 1,000 years. It was like a long ass time. It was Constantinople. It was the center of the Eastern Roman Empire.
They just can't stop fighting, eh? Like that area, I'm just so rude, but like, come on, guys. It's like no, it's like India, Pakistan. The fight, the trauma goes back and forth.
Those are all Western wars. That's the legacy of Rome falling apart, and it's the legacy of the Crusades. not them.
Yeah, it's not them,
other
yeah,
people. It's other
but
people.
they are traumatized from it. They're traumatized from it, and it's like India and Pakistan. They can't stop fighting, dude.
I mean, people took their shit. They took that shit over. They ruled it for a long time, and then they eventually lost it. And you go, these locals can't stop fighting. It's like,
yeah.
You know,
they become like barbarians. Hard to rule.
Like
Let's go to India.
They don't want to be ruled by. I mean, some places just get taken over too, and then it's like basically it's like a virus, and you either get taken over and become the new host and replicate the virus yourself, or you like your body, your immune system creates fucking guerrilla warfare, and you like expel the host.
Oh, and then you say, let's go, brother, we have to fight back, which is really, this is the clip I wanted to show you actually today. I don't know if we'll get through this clip, by the way. It's a minute and 48, but the way we talk, baby, it's like, this is all gold, by the way. I love your musings, but it does have that feel like Russia's coming in, big bad Russia, huge, and then Ukraine is, let's go, brother, we have to fight back. Like, they are fighting back pretty hard. I thought this was interesting. This came out this week. Tell me, I want to know what you think of it. Also, the Indian news angle.
Oh, this is Indian news? News? I love it. I watch this channel
And
sometimes.
starting with some big development coming in this morning, Ukraine has claimed killing Russian Major General Vitaly Gerasimov near Kharkiv. So that's a big claim there being made by the Ukraine army, where they've claimed to have killed Russian Major General Vitaly Gerasimov near Kharkiv region. Vitaly, remember, is the chief of staff and the first deputy commander of the 41st Army of the Central Military
I like how they
District
used the
of
stock
Russia.
footage of they used a Putin photo from like 20 years ago. Look how young Putin is in that picture.
Well, India is friends with Russia. That's a big issue here because the Americans
They used a
never
young
sided.
picture of Putin, and then they like put henna on Zelensky's head.
they put a red thing on
They
him.
like made him red.
They made him
Is it
red.
Pakistan?
Make him dark like a Pakistan.
Imagine,
like,
because you said India's their friend, right? So they're like, okay, let's make Putin younger. Let's young Putin, and then
and very
make it-
reasonable.
They're like, this
Putin's
is
like,
Zelensky. Can you make him look like a Muslim? They're trying to play it's the subliminal. This is like, you know how there's like advanced subliminal shit that you can put in front of your eye. This is like the Indian bootleg version. So it's like more obvious. They're like, make him a Muslim and make him a young Putin. Wow,
dude, you say bootleg, but dude, Fox News does this. CNN does this. They all fucking do this shit. But dude, look at how Putin just looks like. They make me go. He's almost reasonable, and then Zelensky's
like,
almost
I just have
like,
to fight Nazis. What?
I have to fight the Nazi. I have to go, and he's just like, looks.
That's
10,
literally
10
him
years
like
ago.
20 years ago. That's like when he was like, that's like when he was the not even the president. He was
That's
like
when
the
he
prime
like
minister.
legit got the votes, eh? That's been all like
That's
dictator.
the first time he legit got the votes. That's why he's so worried. He's worried he might lose. It's like, it was close. After
He's
that,
planning
it's
like how to kill all his
98%.
enemies. Yeah. It's like, but even back then they're like, I have to kill my enemies so that Nazis don't come.
He's doing the math on who he has to kill right now. He's like, carry the two, okay.
Kill Ichnikov. And he's just like,
Have you seen Stalin is Dead yet?
oh my god, we gotta watch that trailer. But yeah,
it's
they did make Zelensky look like he's a
Look, they made him fatter. Look, they
bad.
stretched out his cheeks. They made him fatter, and then they made him like a little redhead henna boy.
Yeah, but he's also like cocky in it. Like his body posture says like, I started like something like that. It's almost like
him. They like
I'm coming
morphed
to
him with
kill you.
Elon Musk or something.
Yeah, they did make him. Yeah, they definitely more aggressive than Putin. I guess everyone wants to be.
He's not that fat. They made him fat.
Yeah, he was a comedian. How sick is that?
That's fucking sick.
Dude, we honestly, Jon Stewart was supposed to do this, but Americans will never do it. Jon Stewart, people said like, "Come on, Jon Stewart, you know the politics. You're the voice of America," and he's like, "I'm not joining." This guy did a
He
show.
said
just
no,
like
and
that.
then Trump came in. It's like we got the opposite.
Yeah, dude.
And the claim there being made by Ukraine army to have neutralized, to have in fact, beg your pardon, killed Russian Major General Vitaly Gerasimov near Kharkiv region. In fact, Vitaly took part in the Second Chechen War as well and the Russian military operation in Syria.
Interesting. Oh, he was in Syria too.
This comes as the Russian
Imagine
offensive
that's
in
like the
Ukraine
Indian
enters
media bigging him up. He's like he took part in the Chechen war where he killed so many Muslims. Wow.
No, she said Syria.
He's like, and the Syrian Muslim too. Wow, salute the general. Wow, good man.
No, this Republic TV, dude. If there's any Hindu versus Muslim fighting, they just come out on the rip, dude. They just come out on like why are Muslims trying to destroy India? And
why are Muslims so radical?
Why are all Muslims and all terrorists? Huh? That's great. And then he'll have like 8 people on one side, 8 people on the other side, and everyone's screaming. But
they're yelling.
Yells over all of them. Have you seen it?
I've seen stuff like that. Is the clip is done? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. I'll go. Yeah, that clip is done. It's basically like what I was gonna say is
they killed some general.
Dude, that's a big. I feel like, dude, I was seeing articles that are like they killed 9 top Russian generals, and that's a big deal, right?
But the disinfo game is so strong. I don't even know what's going on. Remember the Ghost of Kiev? Shot down 6. It's a fucking flight simulator. It's a video game.
Ghost of Kiev. Dude, in the movie, they're going to have some 12-year-old kid. He has to go on that last suicide. You know what I mean? When in war movies, they have the suicide. Yeah. And they're like, go, Chichnyakov, only you can save us. And he's just like, Ghost of Kiev, give me power, give me strength, and make all bullets go. I love my mommy, and I want to see Janet again. Let's go. Now go. And he just goes out, and just all the bullets get dodged out. You need that. You know what I mean? The culture needs that. You almost like you're at war. Like when do you say it goes too far? Like do your people not need some hard war propaganda? Because it's an emotional game. It's like basketball almost.
It raises morale.
You need the morale, dude.
You need the morale.
I feel like that's when I see this 9 generals killed, I am seeing like it does seem like Russia is this big, such a giant, but then this always happens in these David Goliaths where like the small guys like because the small guys like, let's go, brother, we have to fight back, and then the Russian side is like, okay, Putin's saying, well, let's go. Like they just seem like they're not trying that hard. They're kind of stalling up. They're not,
right.
Do you think that's propaganda? I don't know.
But it's like we gave the Taliban fucking Stinger missiles to shoot the Russian helicopters out of the sky. Now we're giving the Ukrainians javelins, right? What's going to happen one way or another when this war is over? You're just going to have like every Ukrainian has had combat action. They've all learned how to fight. They all have stockpiles of weapons. What do you think? They're just going to give them up and be like, okay, thank you, Mr. Government, man. It's going to deteriorate into like 20 different warlord factions. Yes, some of them neo-Nazi factions as well. Heavily armed with U.S. javelins. Like it's dangerous.
Yeah. No, it's too bad.
Wow.
CEB Applejack 59. No, this is a big friend of the show, CEB Applejack. He actually came on the show yesterday. Cool. But Germany and Netherlands, but very similar political views. Germany and Netherlands rejected Ukraine in the EU. Boris Johnson said NATO was never in the cards for Ukraine, and Zelensky gave up hopes for it. Yeah, NATO. You know what? Zelensky, to his credit, I think he was just applying for EU. So no, you know what though, Vandad? We actually had a guy from Ukraine.
Kendon Reed. Turkey was named after Ataturk, the founder of the modern Turkish Republic. He was a general. He was part of the Young Turks movement.
Right.
Took over after the fall of the Ottomans. Was supposed to be a secular country. It's technically secular.
Right.
Then the Ataturk. So they named it Turkey.
That's after him. So sad that the white men, the colonial, still like it's like the colonial women still they call us Turkey chicken. Like that's so it's like say it like
Turkey.
Ataturk. Why not just call it Ataturk? Or they're trying to say it's Turk.
We do that for all of it. It's like Syria. It's Surya. Syria. Yeah, close enough. Syria.
But why'd they put the Y there? They just put a U. Surya.
I don't know. Anglicized. That's just how we do it.
Yeah, I guess the vowels are silly. Like sometimes they mean this, sometimes they mean this. You get the wrong vowel and there you're screwed. Even like people coming. Yeah, no. My parents almost named me Ashit, but it would have been written ASHIT. And my sisters were like, you can't do this.
A shit. Oh, you would have gotten destroyed in school.
It will destroy him. Dude, I would be a broken man. I'd be a broken man.
Broken man.
Or I'd be such a hard ass after that. It would almost give me like short man syndrome.
Oh shit.
It's like I have that 20-yard stare. Like I've been in the shit.
Yeah. You
damn. No, my parents call me a shit. What's that?
I'm the shit.
Yeah, you had to change it to the shit. It's a beautiful story.
I mean, like a lot of those Eastern countries, you got to remember, like okay, in Latvia is part of the EU now, which is crazy. It's gonna, I think it joined, it's NATO now. But you gotta understand, in Latvia, they still have World War II SS fucking SS fighter veterans. They still march every year down the streets of Riga in their full SS outfits. And the mayor of Riga is like, these men are heroes, because to them, the Russians were bad, and then they got kicked out by the Nazis.
But the Russians
Nazis
were pretty vicious on them. The Russians were vicious.
But then the Nazis came in and were like, hey, these people are blonde hair, blue eyed. Let's treat them well. So to them, they see the Nazis as the liberators. That's the sort of skewed mentality that's still, but we're living in that today. We're living in that today because we got their grandkids in charge of these countries. And it's back to hate on Russia. Again, this is all these opinions were right before the invasion. So the actual invasion kind of changes everything for me.
Of course, dude. The invasion is a bad move for Putin because it's let NATO cross the first line. You know what I mean? But then, it's weird. It's I'm talking about Ukraine and Russia being
what is
David
the first
and Goliath,
line?
but it's a David Goliath within a David and Goliath, because just like Ukraine has to rip on Russia, and they're ripping them apparently. They're dude, killing generals, I feel is a big deal. I mean, that one of those could have been a Rommel, and that makes a big difference in a war. But it's, the management, you're taking out management. It's a big deal, I feel in war, to kill generals. But they took out 9 apparently. But even other than that, there's all these positive stories about them. But then, so it's that rip of brother, I have to fight back. But then it's almost like a rip inside of a rip. It's a David and Goliath, and then the bigger David and Goliath is NATO coming to Russia, and
Russia sees itself as the David in the global scale. It's we've always been the David. Everyone else has always been fucking with us.
Yeah.
Nonstop. You guys let the Nazis get in power. They fucking killed 60 million of us. And now, NATO exists as an anti-Russian military alliance. So they're
unacceptable.
It's 2022. You have your anti-Russian fucking military alliance, it's not even close. It's not even close enough for you. Now you want to be right on our border. That's what their beef was with their Ukraine. They're you can't keep coming closer and closer to us with us just sitting around waiting for you to fuck us.
No, this is not in such an look. And we had a guy from the Ukraine on last week, Ed Wachinski, love him. And he's obviously their perspective is Russia's a bunch of assholes too, and we want to go. So that's kind of his perspective on it, and I get that too. It's complicated.
No,
it's
they
messy
are
that.
They invaded. They're wrong. Morally, they're bankrupt now. It's over.
Russia, yeah, no, they're done.
It doesn't even really matter if there are Nazis in Ukraine, but it doesn't even matter. It's now it's just now you're just invading a much smaller country to flex your nuts. It's just not.
And you're just shooting at military. Dude, the nuclear shooting. It's almost this is so conspiracy, but it's almost like he's saying, yeah, just shoot at it. Let them know that we're not afraid of a little boom, boom. Because that's the kind of talk you have to do with nukes. You have to be okay, then it blows up. That's kind of on his side. And there is talk even on his side of things you knew, what good is the world without a Russia? There's people who say stuff like that. India, Pakistan, there's people at the top who say stuff like that about each other too.
Right.
Well, we can't be gone, and Pakistan's not gone. So they have plans laid out, with
mutually assured destruction.
Mutually assured destruction. Although both of their mutually assured destruction actually has no, but we'll have still 200 million left, and we'll repopulate from that. But they'll
what that's
done.
That's when the Taliban would recruit little kids to be suicide bombers. A lot of times they would tell them, okay, you put on the suicide vest, you go to the target, you hit it, the blast is going to go forward, and you're actually going to be fine. They lie to them. They don't tell them you're going to fucking explode. They're the blast is going to go forward, and then you just walk out of there, and you're a good boy.
Oh, dude, that's
it's it's oh yeah, we'll survive. Well, no, you won't. If there's a nuclear war, we're all fucking dead. The fallout and the radiation and the fucking crops falling apart alone.
Yeah. And people like this who are just down to fight like this and have such a pride. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't want to bum everyone out, but yeah, no, it's crazy that in America, there's people saying oh, nuke schmook, they're not going to do it. There are a lot of Americans, Democrats too. Democrats. And you know what it is in America who's pushing this? it's the Democrats because they feel like some personal insult that like they messed with our election. It's a Donald Trump connection. It's like
Yeah.
we've been telling you, Donald
Yeah.
Trump. It's like, come on, man, just let it go. You lost.
Yeah.
And no, honestly, and I can say the same thing about Donald Trump. You know, Donald Trump was on Nelk podcast like yesterday.
That's so funny.
Still ripping on his stupid like. Well, yeah, when the votes come out, Philadelphia just did a recount. They said we were right.
Wait, it's going to be overturned? It's going to be like 3 years overturned?
What they did is a great crime to me and a great crime to democracy. They stole it. Philadelphia's overturned. They did a recount. Well, shut up. You're crazy.
Yeah, shut up.
And I love the thing where he goes, Taliban never happened. If I was there, Putin never would have done it. Taliban never would have done it. So it was actually very timely. Like he was on, I should pull it up. It's actually so funny. Hold up, let me share this screen. Because Nelk Boys is YouTube, basically. They're from Alberta or some shit. They're fucking killing.
He's gonna be on Mr. Beast.
Oh, and yeah, Mr. Beast is so clean though. Did you see Mr. Beast on Rogan? By the way,
I fell asleep. I saw a part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that
no, I don't mean like he was boring. It just I put it on at like 3 a.m. while I was going to sleep. Wasn't
right. Hold up. Where do we have? What was I going to look for? Oh, Nelk Trump. Let's see if the podcast is great, man. Oh yeah, it's 1 hour only. Damn.
Yeah, you can't really get these guys for 4 hours, you know. Yeah, I saw that. That's interesting. That's I don't think Russia expected that.
I don't think so, dude. And they didn't realize that China is so Asian, so money, so cheap.
A lot of people
it's literally
thought
just money, and they go
to attack Taiwan. Like people were trying to say, like it's like a coordinated thing. That like 100%. Okay, you go into Ukraine, I'll go into Taiwan. The world won't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah. No,
I feel like they had a little window. If they wanted Taiwan, they could have took it.
I thought that's what the World War. I thought that's what the Olympics thing was. I thought it was them being like, yeah, let's go. Let's hey. Shake hands on it. I'm gonna go attack Ukraine next week. You take Taiwan. God is great. And
yeah, they asked them not to attack until the Olympics are over, right? That's what I heard.
Wow,
Xi Jinping was like, "Can you wait until the Olympics are over? Hey, don't crash my party. Come on."
Yeah, but then now I think because America, I guess, put pressure on China too, and China's like, "Hey, man, you went a little too far on."
Trans people were like, these trans women were trying to leave, and they're like, "No, you count as men. Get in there."
Yeah, that's a weird one. That's a weird one that you found.
Regarding
yeah, it's like, well, where do you draw the line, right?
Yeah, I guess they're not like, dude, you can't expect them to have trans rights so on it like that far.
Why not? They're a plausible potential applicant for the EU, aren't they?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, you want to be in the EU.
If you want to be in the EU, you got to let in some blacks. You got to let in some Syrians.
Did you see the two black guys talking about? Like, I saw some. It was some viral.
They wouldn't let them on trains. Yeah, the Polish train guy was so hardcore. He's like, no, like he was literally Gandalf. Like, you shall not pass.
To who?
To the black guy trying to get on the train to Poland. They were evacuating Ukraine. They'd let all the white people on these trains, and then they were stopping the black Ukrainians. They're like, no. I love it though. Poland like a month ago was like, we're not going to let in one single refugee from Syria or all of these blacks. And then like the second it's Ukraine, they're like, we're ready to take 3 million refugees if we need to.
Yeah.
Because white power, brother.
Because they're colonial all together, brother. Yeah.
I mean, the Eastern Europe isn't really colonial. They were colonized. I mean, they're Slavs. The term slave comes from Slav.
But Vandad, it's all blonde hair, blue-eyed like girls.
Yeah.
So
it's a white.
Like, don't just say like you just got like these like just women from Ukraine. Yes, we will take 3 million, and then you got like just everyone from basically all dudes from like Syria or something. Because I feel like Syria, the opposite would happen. The women would be like, fuck you, you're not leaving. All the men would maybe run out. I've seen that happen. I like certain border crossings or whatever. Like, it's not like equal to the genders or whatever. So it's like, yeah.
Right.
I mean, better deal for them. I don't know. Yeah.
I even saw some Syrian rebels are like, we will go to Ukraine and fight Russia.
Yeah.
It's like,
and then
they're basically like terrorists. Terrorists are going to go to Ukraine to fight Russia. They just want to get back at Russia for Chechnya.
Yeah, that's how these things happen, though. Like whenever you watch Star Wars, there's like the rebel group, and then there's always like it's always complex, intricate politics. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna happen. You can't pick a team. This has to be like a whole exercise of like, don't pick a team on these things, because that's how we all get polarized, and we're like, I'm on this and I'm on that. Like we don't want to look at complexities of things. We don't want to see that like they're human and they're doing whatever it is. There is this weird thing right now of like I just saw this Johnny Harris video and it's all just so like Putin's evil. You better say Putin's evil. And I'm like, he is, but like, let's be productive here. Let's make sure that we know that.
Look at the bags under this CIA director's eyes. That's how you know he's destabilized like 20 African countries. Those bags.
These CIA guys are such garbage.
When you cause 1 million people to be displaced and die of malaria, you get bags under your eyes like that.
Yeah, that's it, dude. I mean,
you get a nice house in the Hamptons.
I mean, it is like some part of them is like so I'll just show you this other clip too. This John,
what is this kid died?
John Mearsheimer. Let's do this one. This is the first one I saw. And then of course Chris Hedges has a whole piece about this too. But
is this the same guy that talked about like getting like sex prostitutes for your assets? No, there's a different guy.
No, that's a different guy. Just listen to this part. Right. Quick 10 seconds.
NATO expansion took place in 2 tranches. The first one was in 1999. That's when you get Poland, the Czech Republic, and Hungary incorporated into NATO. The second big tranche was in 2004. And that's when the Baltic states, you can see Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania up top, Romania, Bulgaria, these are the light brown countries. That's the second tranche of NATO expansion. Now, the Soviets made it clear from the mid-1990s they were adamantly opposed to NATO expansion. But number one, they were too weak to do anything about it. And two, it didn't involve the states that were right on their border. I mean, there's no question, as you can see from the map, that Latvia and Estonia are on Russia's border, and Lithuania as well, if you want to include that little enclave between Poland and Lithuania. But the fact is, these were very small states. It was early in the game, and the Russians were willing to live with it. But then the big trouble starts. And it comes.
And again, I just want to say this with the caveat of like, we had Ed Luchinsky on last week, and he's like, yo, fuck all this. On? Yeah, we had one on Friday. And he was straight up like, yo, fuck all this. Russia's a piece of shit too. So actually what he did when after I showed him this, but let's just watch a little more.
This Bucharest summit, NATO's Bucharest summit in April 2008, where at the end of the summit, a declaration is issued which says, NATO welcomes Ukraine's and Georgia's Euro-Atlantic aspirations for membership in NATO. We agreed today that these countries will become members of NATO. So the Russians made this perfectly clear. This was unacceptable. Russia's deputy foreign minister said, Georgia's and Ukraine's membership in the alliance is a huge strategic mistake, which will have most serious consequences for pan-European security. Putin himself said, Georgia and Ukraine becoming part of NATO is a direct threat to Russia.
This is 6 years ago.
Remember that there was a war between Russia and Georgia in August 2008? That war was a consequence of this, because the Georgians thought we were sending them a signal that they could get uppity with the Russians, and we would back them because they were going to come NATO. That's not what happened. And you know what happened? The Russians clobbered the Georgians, and Georgia is in deep trouble today because it thought it could become part of NATO. So you remember that April 2008 summit, very important.
So like, again, I just want to say, like, we had a guy on from Ukraine, and he's like, fuck all this shit. I want to be part of NATO because Russia's been shitty too. So that's the other side of this. Like, I'm not saying that Russia's like an angel in this at all. And obviously what they do is awful. But they also, like, just like NATO expands, like this does actually make it look like Putin's just saying, hey guys, come on, be reasonable. But actually, if you look at I think that we were looking at the Wikipedia page, and Russia is just nonstop doing little tactical little things itself too. You know what I mean? All the time, like CIA. But I do think this makes them want to do it. It's like you have this on the border coming in, taking that first tranche of countries. Like, and you know, one of the things that's crazy about this is that Putin himself, there's actually a great clip I had of like Putin saying that one time he was meeting with Clinton, and they're just meeting up and whatever. And he goes, hey, what do you think we could join NATO? And he goes, I won't tell you what he said, but it was very disappointing. He looks at us as enemy. We are enemy forever.
I think Gorbachev tried to join too.
Yeah, Gorbachev tried to. So that to me is like unacceptable, man. And both of those big countries need to be responsible and be like, there's almost got to be like, okay, you're NATO, you're watching Soviet expansion. There's got to be something in the rule book that says when they come to you and say, hey, can we join? You're done. That's where you go. We're done. We're like a friendship organization now.
Well, yeah, the problem is like NATO was created as a anti-Russian military alliance, so it's like Russia shouldn't have asked to join them. They should have been like, "Hey, since we're friends now, can you disband and not be this thing?"
That's what you're supposed to say. But then,
But
yeah,
it's
how do
like-
you say that to like, so it's like that guy's job. You know what I mean? So I think the Americans just look at it as like, well, this is my livelihood and I have to keep going. Like they don't
Yeah.
see things any like that. But that's why I'm saying, like, why aren't you like a friendship organization now and just setting up like sister cities and you do little festivals and you hang out together? Like, I mean, that's what it should be. That would be the responsible thing at that point.
That'd
It
be
should be a
nice.
proactive loving, not a proactive like, oh, where are they going to fight? Where are they going to attack next? It should be like, where can we love next? But I don't know.
Right.
That is maybe crazy. That's loving kindness. That would be the loving kindness approach. That's what they should have
Loving
done.
kindness.
Loving
Wow,
kindness,
Amish
right?
Patel.
Yeah, man.
So
Yo,
dope.
I gotta go. I'm going to my cousin's wedding in the States. But thanks for coming, dude. This is a great conversation.
Yeah, it was
Great
good.
shit. Yeah. And it's online. And
Nice.
like real quick, let's just read some comments
Yeah.
because we do love the congregation. And and then let's get out of here because I am pretty much packed, but I'm going to Virginia Beach, dude. It's beautiful.
You're going to the con, right?
The con? No, that's in April. I'm going to Podfest,
Okay.
and that's going to be a sick show too, actually. But right now I'm going to Virginia Beach. We just have family over there. They're doing a wedding, so I might just keep recording.
Where's
over
Virginia
there.
Beach? That's the
I don't know, but it's
that's
hot.
what is it?
No,
Florida?
no, it's on the other side. It's on like the west side. It's Virginia Beach. It's a big military place too. NATO
it's
was
in
never
Virginia?
in the cards for Ukraine. Was that?
It's in Virginia? Where are you going?
It's in
Where are you-
Virginia. So I think
Oh,
it's like
okay.
near North Carolina or something like that. Like it's on the.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be great. We're driving as a family too. It's gonna be such a great trip. But thanks everyone for coming. Yahuvi, Mashzi, Chichov, Cybernetics, CB, AppleJack 59. NATO was never in the cards for Ukraine. I know, right? Like, why dangle that? Why fucking shake your ass in front of everyone if you're not gonna goddamn
Yeah,
do
and
it?
that's the thing. All Russia said was like, promise us you won't put Ukraine in. And they didn't say we're gonna put Ukraine in, but they still trolled and were like, we can't promise that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, I mean, they're like, it doesn't excuse their actions, but it's like it was very obvious they were going to act in some way if you
Yeah.
can't give them that guarantee.
Yeah, and they
Right?
are worried about your nukes being on a
I think-
bordering country.
I
Like,
think
I mean, you,
Russia's
as
in the
America,
fault-
you would not allow that. You would not allow that to Canada or Mexico. So it's a little weird. Yeah. for
I think
sure.
Russia's
There's a
in the
percentage.
fault for actually attacking, but it's like it's like you kind of baited them into it. They fell for it, so that puts it on them. But it's like you baited it. You baited the schoolyard bully into like fucking making a fool of himself. And you
Yeah.
and then you like go up to the weak kid who's getting bullied and you like egg him on without any intent of actually jumping in.
Yeah, that's basically
But
Georgia.
like morally, it's like they're. I mean, obviously, the one throwing the bombs is like worse off morally, but the one who kind of like let it happen and like wanted it to happen to
Well,
further their own
instigated. It
gains.
does seem like CIA, NATO, they're always instigating these fights. It's like, this is a waste of time, man. Why are 50 grown-ups in a whole organization? There's an office building here. There's a bureaucracy here. Shut it down. You don't have any money. Why isn't this? It could be a friendship organization or just go home and fix your country. There's so much to do. There's so many better things to do than have a bunch of grown-ups with all this, like they're educated, obviously. Like work on something productive. It is such a waste of time to just look for reasons to fight almost.
Right.
Obviously, this is a percentage because actually, John Fitzgerald, this is a good point. Another theory I have is the pipeline. The whole Syria and North Iraq fighting was about a pipeline. You know what? It's weird how like the resources get like, it's like you think it's all about this, and then that it's really can only be percentages, right? Like it's got to be like 30% NATO, but a big part of it is this pipeline too. I've heard about this where it's like a resource issue as well.
Yeah, John. Me and Amish were talking like the day. Remember when like one day like America was like helping the Kurds and Turkey was about to move in, and then the next day America just abandoned the Kurds and let the Turkey come in.
Mhm.
On Trump's like Trump had like a tweet like we're gonna leave the Kurds or whatever, like we're gonna get out of that region. This Kurdish commander like tweeted under it in the comments, he put a link of a story that was like Trump International signs deal for 20 more hotels in Turkey. So people were like wow, they abandoned the Kurds so that they could sell more hotels. And then Amish, you had a joke where you were like, imagine you're like the Kurdish general. And he's like, I don't like this hotel. It is the curtains are too gaudy. And then like some guy's like, dude, just make the Trump hotel in Erbil. Like make the Kurdish Trump hotel. This guy's a lunatic. He says no, and then Trump pulls the funding.
Damn, dude.
Fucked. Yeah, you never
I don't
know.
remember saying that, but yeah, I'll take credit
You're
for
like,
that.
just make the hotel, man.
Thanks, dude. Yo, I love it, man. Yo, you got to come back, man. I actually was, I think we're going to do this with the boss too. So like, I have the drip now, basically. It is mine. I have the power.
Wow, hostile takeover.
No, not at all. Not at all. No, Steven just got, dude, his channel went up to 1 million. When I started doing the podcast with Steven, it was at 87,000 or 89,000. It's at 800, 900,000. And each video is
this one or his?
No,
the other
his.
one.
We're actually bleeding people right now, but that's okay because when someone leaves, that happens. We're down 600 people right now. We're down financially too. But listen, the numbers are going to come back. God is great. God is on our side.
Great.
We have a strong community. We have a strong community and a strong congregation who's every day they come in and say, how can we help the digital ashram grow, BabaJi? How can we help it grow, BabaJi? So,
Nice.
they're always here. They're helping. The Zelensky interview, David Muir reporting, ABC News exclusive with Zelensky giving up on joining NATO. Oh, CB AppleJack, $5. Thanks, baby. You know what? We'll check that out next time. I gotta run, guys.
Okay.
Ah, shit, we love you. CB Applejack says, shit, we love you. Oh my God, CB Applejack, I missed all these. Germany, Netherlands rejected Ukraine in the EU. Boris Johnson and NATO. Yeah, no. Applejack's up on the politics, just like you, man. Very similar politics, and yeah, cool guy, man. But yo, thanks for coming. And yeah, like I was saying, it would be cool to come back, man. Come back.
Thank you so much.
Just make it a regular thing because I do have a bunch of regulars, and I think Steven's going to be a regular too. Like he'll just come back once a month, probably. We had always Marco on. Elaine was such a great guest. You're so much fun to talk to, dude. And you always bring these rips on alternate politics that I think are so tight, and the people love
Thanks,
it.
baby.
There's a market.
Yo, let me just
tell
say
about any shows you have coming up.
Yeah, so luckily I just started the promo yesterday for Revival 1863 in Orangeville.
Sick.
Guess what? It's sold out. It's sold out
Oh
in
my
like a minute.
God.
There's like maybe a ticket or two left, maybe, or you can get the jump on next month's show by reservation. Info at revival1863.com. Info at revival1863.com is the only way to get tickets. It's pretty much sold out for this month. There might be a table left, but you can do it for next month. Also, if you're in the Montreal area, March 27th at Theatre St. Catharines, I have the next edition of Sloppy Sundays, live experimental long form English stand-up comedy with all flavors except hate or hack. So yeah, you can check me out at Vandad K Comedy, or for anything else, just go to vandadk.com.
Hold up, I really gotta.
Vandadk.com, brother.
Vandadk.com,
Wow,
dude. Revival
the
1863 was
technology.
gorgeous.
Technology. You can see where I'm appearing next. You can see the shows I put on.
Sloppy
Sundays.
Sloppy
Sloppy Sundays.
So you're saying it's very it's like the shows you used to produce in Toronto, like these go until like 2 a.m.
It's a really nice theater, so they won't let me do the all night aspect of it. But it's like, it's 7 comics. We might throw in a few extras. Oh yeah, and also patreon.com/VandadK, obviously.
Sick.
Yeah, that's Revival 1863. Great place. That's me and my sister. Christmas.
This is me at Revival. I did this
in the green room. Amish Patel.
Yeah, dude, it was such a sick show. Yeah, this
one of the owners.
bar was incredible.
Great people.
What a tight show, dude. Thanks so much, man, for coming on too, and for putting me on this show. Such a good show. Yeah, check out vandadk.com. Great events all over, and this guy's gonna be back on the drip soon enough. Thanks everyone for watching. You are loved. You are all loved. God is great. And
God is great.
God is great. Peace.
Thank you. Bye.
Wait, end meeting. End stream. End. Cool, man.